May the blessings of Beltane be upon you. Well, mostly you, Nordic Bee, because you're probably one of the few that even know what the fuck Beltane is, and one of even the fewer that actually recognize it for what it is. And I was just gonna leave it at that, and pound some Swissgars beers, but you know, as usual, fucking Moeller had to open his big fat stupid Jew mouth, and shit. Now I gotta preach on it. Heineken. You see, Beltane is an ancient pagan holiday. It's an ancient pagan fire festival that was held around the 1st of May every year in order to give thanks for the end of winter and to ask for a plentiful crop in the upcoming season. Things of that nature. It's extremely old. It goes back to the Druids and probably before then, which makes it, well over 5,000 years old, which means it has nothing to do with Christianity whatsoever. But, like everything else that the fucking Christians do, not all the Christians, but, the organization, they take and they turn it into their own shit. Beltane becomes National Prayer Day. Yule becomes Christmas. Ostara or Ishtar becomes Easter. On and on and on and on. The one thing you motherfuckers couldn't get, though, was Halloween. Heineken. Now, as a LaVeyan Satanist, we recognize Beltane, but we don't fucking, steal it and change the fucking name and change the celebration or any of that shit. No, we recognize Beltane for what it is. What it's always been. Just like Yule, just like Walpurgis, just like Ostara, on and on and on and on. It's really sad that you people have to do that, because it causes problems. Like, if anybody remembers the whole crazy and by crazy, I mean crazy fucking entertaining black metal shit that went down in the early 90s, you know, with Varg and Euronymous and Mayhem and all that shit. Well, before Varg pincushioned Euronymous, and by the way, Varg did nothing fucking wrong. Shout out to Varg Vikernes. Before he pincushioned Euronymous, there were a bunch of churches, Christian churches, that were burned down all over Scandinavia. Burnt to the fucking ground. And those guys caught a lot of hell for that too. But they shouldn't have. Heineken. See, the reason those guys burned all those churches to the ground, and by the way, they never burned any of the churches with any people in them. Nobody died in any of these church burnings. But the reason they did that was because these young men at the time, I mean, they're my age now, but they had learned about their history, and they learned what had been done to their people. What the Christians did when they came into Scandinavia and they found, you know, a temple dedicated to Odin or a temple dedicated to Thor. They would kill all the priests. Well, really can't call them priests, but for lack of a better word, you know what I'm saying? They would kill all the priests. They would burn the temple to the fucking ground. Burn it to ashes. And then they would build their church right on top of it. So all these fucking hundreds of years later, when the church burnings happened in Scandinavia, the reason given was payback's a motherfucker. Which, I mean, that's exactly what the fuck it was. That they did to the Christians what the Christians did to them, to their ancestors, to their people. I see nothing wrong with it. I mean, my God, they even burned the main Norse temple at Gamla Uppsala, which is a place in Sweden. Burned it to the ground, and there's a Christian church there to this fucking day. Gamla Uppsala was the place that all the people who were part of the Norse religion in Scandinavia, back during the Viking times and even before then, once every 9 years, they would go to Uppsala and they would sacrifice. See, 9 was big in the Norse religion. The 9 worlds, all that stuff. They would go to Uppsala every 9 years and they would sacrifice. They would sacrifice one of every creature. 9 ducks, 9 horses, 9 pigs, 9 cows, and even 9 people. But it wasn't done against their will. The people that were sacrificed volunteered for it. Because in their belief, if you did this, boom, straight to Valhalla. Yeah. This was like their most sacred place. and there's a giant Christian church on top of it. Right meow. That sucks. Heineken. I forget which fucking stupid ass, faceless, fucking dumbass troll said this today. But, some fucking asshole left a comment and said, what the fuck was it? I mentioned something about Beltane and, how the Christians stole it, turned it into National Day of Prayer and whatnot. And this fucking jerk-off, idiot, stupid fuck that don't know shit, says to me, something about, it was Roman, and the pagans stole it from the Romans. See, this is how ignorant some of these Christians are. This fucking jackass doesn't realize that the Romans were fucking pagans. Still are. Still fucking are. If you think for one fucking second that the Vatican is not pagan as fuck, you're deluded. You're deluded as fuck. And let me stop right here and just say this. I'm not on this fucking diatribe to shit on fucking Christians. There's a lot of people that I know that I respect who are Christians. More power to you. I'm not trying to piss in your pool. I'm just tired of some of your people always trying to piss in my pool. That's all. Heineken. You know, if you really want to go there, if you really want to fucking get down to brass tacks and whatnot, the ancient Canaanites, okay? The ancient Canaanites, the people who eventually turned into, the tribe, Muller's people, and then some of them broke off and became Christians. But the ancient Canaanites, where, the god Elohim, Jehovah, Yahweh, that guy, that goes all the way back to the ancient Canaanites. But he was just one god. He was actually an ancient storm god. And he was known for being very brutal, Uh, basically a fucking psychopath. But the ancient Canaanites had multiple gods. And what these precursors of the Jews and the Christians did back then, that like I said, they had many gods. They had Elohim, they had Baal, they had Marduk. Now Marduk, that's a special one. You see these people who are the ancestors of the Jews and the Christians, they used to sacrifice their babies to Marduk. Yep. Had a giant effigy built, usually of like a bull or some shit. And it would basically be a furnace. And they would feed babies into this thing and burn them alive to Marduk. Marduk. Yep. Them's y'all's people. You never heard in your life of a LaVeyan Satanist doing some shit like that. You never in your life heard of a Wiccan or a pagan, and by pagan I mean, somebody who's a Sartru, which our Sartru is the name of the Norse religion, Odin and Thor and Loki and all them. I mean, even like Zeus and all that shit. Nobody fed their babies into the fire. Except those guys. Just saying. Just fucking saying. Heineken. I'm sorry I had to do this, but if you want to blame anybody, blame Moeller. It's his fault. You know that guy. He likes to stir the pot. He likes to start shit. And let me just, if I offended any good Christian people in this video, and there are good Christian people, contrary to what you might think, there are some good JWs too. There's no good Israelis. No good Israelis. But there's some good JWs. And I apologize to those people if I offended you. This was not directed at you. But to those it was directed at, you can go fuck yourselves.